All right. So I don't see anybody raising their hand. Oh, come on, you guys. Be brave. I just shared a whole bunch of ways for you to make more money. You telling me none of it actually jumped out at you? Okay, Tony, there we go. Okay, you are muted. Okay.
Hi. It's not that nothing jumped out at me. It's almost like there's so many possible options to choose from. So I think one of the things that I need to do better in my business is increase my number of referrals. Because when I work with a client, they're usually very, very happy with the work that I do. And I think one of the challenges that my clients have, and I'm curious to know your take on this, because part of what I do is help people clear the blocks that are interfering, the blocks and the limiting beliefs and unproductive programs that are interfering with their ability to succeed or take their success to the next level. And oftentimes it's the work's highly customized in that context, and we're dealing with their particular challenges. I think my clients don't know, and I'm not sure that I know as yet how to coach them on how to talk to their friends, because it's kind of almost like, well, I went to this person because I was like struggling with this piece and I think they're really great. And it's almost kind of like saying, well, you must have issues too if I'm recommending this person to you. And people usually don't want to own up to the fact that they have issues. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. And since I don't know specifics of, or do you want to give me a specific example and I can tell you how to do it, or I can give you an example with mine?
I'm just really curious more about how would someone say to a friend, work with this woman, she's really great. She helped me take my business to the next level by clearing my blocks. I mean, I guess they could just say that.
Yeah, they could, but you need to teach them what to do. Like, for example, with me, let me get my hair here. Okay, with me, I cover, getting on camera and producing video or monetization, right? So people that work with me, they know that all three are important. And the thing is for them to be able to identify when they're working with somebody. So, for example, Tony, do you know some people that are actually, they could use a little bit more time on camera? Or do you know any people that actually they could use to learn how to use technology, because they're so great at what they do, they'll be able to create more videos. So asking a question like that, it gets people to think about it. And what happens is that when you give them specific instructions to think of people, and they can think of the person who actually needs a break. In your case, they need a breakthrough in which area, So because I know you work with different aspects of what's going on in their life. And so it could be that the person you're working with needed a breakthrough in one area, but they know people who need a breakthrough in another area. Okay, so you want to give examples. And give them something to think about. So once you said, do you know somebody who could use some help in this area? Or a lot of times what happens is that, for me, most of the people that are working with me, I train, their challenge is finding people who are trained on camera. So when they run across somebody that they want to be doing an interview, it's like, okay, you know what? You may want to think about Anne, because she has this way of creating really cool videos. She'll show you how to do it. Why don't you take a look at it? And then we'll show the videos that I've created. So in your case, you can actually create some tips on different aspects of, like breakthroughs people can have. So they can actually forward it to a person and say, hey, I thought this was really helpful. What do you think? So this way, they're not actually telling people you have a problem. They're saying, I thought I passed this on to you because I found it really helpful.
Okay, and so how would that translate to a referral?
Well, they're passing on your content, and they can say, if you want me to make an introduction, I can. And
Okay.
when people are watching your videos, your training, that somebody's referring you to them. They don't necessarily have to say, Tony meet Joe, Joe meet Tony, but they're passing on your information. You're making something easier for them to pass on. And then they can say, if you want me to make an introduction, just let me know. So this way they're not pushing people.
Okay. Thank you. That actually helps me, like that expanded definition of what a referral is and how it can happen. That's helpful to me.
Okay, very good. Okay, anything else? Yeah.
Let me see. Let me go over my notes. Okay, so what would you suggest? Sometimes I'm very literal, so it's helpful to me to have like an actual example. So reaching out to a dormant customer, what ways in which would you suggest to reach out to them? And in my context, it's usually a relatively personal relationship that's developed. And I mean, I guess I could just kind of call them and say, hey, I was thinking of you, just want to check in.
That's actually, I find that's the easiest way and the most powerful way, because when people just call us out of the blue, we haven't talked to them in a while, and we had a pretty good relationship with them. We just kind of dropped. Hey, I was just thinking. As a matter of fact, this is funny because today somebody I haven't worked with in a while just sent me a text. Said, hey, it's been a while. What's going on? Just was thinking of you. It just made me feel good. She's thinking of me, because every now and then I think of her too, but I just haven't. I haven't called. So it's just like when we have that warm and fuzzy with somebody, it just doesn't go away. It's just wonderful to know that they're thinking of us. So don't be shy. Just say, hey. And if they most often they will respond, in a real positive way. If they don't, they don't.
Do you think that the same thing kind of applies in the context of what you were saying about it usually takes seven exposures to your offer before someone will buy? Do you think that it might be the same in terms of reaching out with people too, that it takes more? Because I know in the past I have had a tendency to reach out to people, and if they are not responsive, I don't tend to follow up again. But now I'm starting to wonder whether maybe multiple follow-ups is a good idea.
Yes, I find multiple follow-ups is a good idea because it works on me.
Eventually you feel guilty and go, oh man, I really should pick up the phone and call that person back.
And I, the people that I have followed up with, and it does great things. I can tell you, I have a meeting set up with somebody it's huge, but I'm the one who followed up a few times. I'm like, okay, let's continue this conversation. He's like, I'm traveling here, I'm traveling there, and then he's like, oh, I got to find a time. He thanked me for following up.
Yeah, because sometimes oftentimes my clients are pretty busy people, and so I do have, I think, I have a little bit of a belief in there that I'm bothering them, and I need to probably shift that.
Well, I would say shift that, because
and I know how to do that. I have the tools.
Yes, you do.
Sometimes we have to become aware of what we need to shift in order to shift it.
Shifting our internal is the most difficult. It's easy to help others, but ours is, difficult.
Yeah, that's why facilitation is helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. A lot of this is helpful. I haven't explored it 100%, but I have gone in and taken a look at your profit generator worksheets and things. And I need to. I think I mentioned to you. I've actually had a slew of back-to-back 3-day VIP clients, and so I've been pretty busy. But I want to go in and take a look at your calculators and put my own numbers in there for the new year.
Wonderful. Very, very good. Okay. So I know you have to rush off because you have a client that you're working with.
I do, yes. Yeah, he's in the other room. We negotiated this hour, so I could be here for you.
Okay. Oh, you were here for you.
Yes, well, for both of us. Exactly.
Okay, we'll see you later, Tony.
Okay.
I'm glad you were able to make it. Okay.
Fine.
Okay, so who's next? Charles, you are on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Great. So what I noticed as for product and service in regarding to the client, so we identified my targeted client is, for example, solopreneur. And I realized that the solopreneur go through, I guess, different stages of building wealth, right? And it depends on what I realized that depend on what stage they are in. My message or whatever can cater and introduce and educate them on, you know, how they can move to next level. So I divide it into like 3 different stages. I call it surviving, sustaining, and striving, right? So I realized that the surviving solopreneur, what are the different resources that they face? So in financial thing, for example, the one that's surviving, you know, they're working on their business, but they have you know, cash flow issue, they have credit issue, they have debt, and so I would align the resources for them to take care of that, right? And then, you know, the sustaining is the one that, okay, you know, I'm not in survival mode, but I need to manage my finance, and I need to protect my asset. And what are the message I cater toward those type of clients? So what I imagine is when people go to me, you know, instead of assuming where they are at, I would have like kind of like an assessment or something. I would paint a picture. Okay, here's your journey to financial freedom, and you take this assessment, and from the assessment, I can determine where they are at. So my marketing message of product and service is really catered toward that type of, I mean, where they are at currently. So that's where I'm heading. Do you have any feedback on that?
Well, actually, I didn't hear the question though. I heard this. What was the specific question?
So my question is that, no, I was just wondering if you have any additional feedback on that. How, especially when it comes to referral, for example, you know, I mean, as an entrepreneur, you don't really know what stage are they in at building wealth, right? I mean, we all geared toward, we all focus on building our American dream, have financial freedom, get rid of debt, right? But clearly we don't know what stage are they in. Are they in the surviving mode, sustaining mode, or striving, right? So I'm developing, I guess, assessment tool where when they go to the website or something, they can take an assessment to know where they are at financially. So in that way, I have a good idea to market or cater my message toward on what product and service that I can showcase and introduce to them.
Yeah, well, I agree with you in as far as the assessment tool, because our finances are very personal.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to be sharing it, you know, openly with everybody, and regardless of where it is. And I mean, it's an internal thing. People who are doing really well, they're scared of sharing their finances with people because they think people are going to be asking them for stuff or, you know, whatever. And people who are not doing well, they think it's a reflection on, you know, who they are. Mm-hmm. So there are so many. I mean, there are many reasons there are people when it comes to finances. Mm-hmm. So the assessment tool is the easiest thing because we can actually assess ourselves in privacy and without worrying about anybody else. So assessment tools are a great one for people to pass on to get referrals. Mm-hmm. And if you create videos that go with the assessment tools, so for example, you know, once they finish the assessment and they're the, you know, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, they say, if there's a video that goes along with it, they say, well, you're here because you got between this, and here are some things that you can do. And then next one. So you have to create that 3 different videos. That's going to take them to a different page. Survey Funnel, the tool, is actually very good for that because people click on where it is and it directs them to where they're going to go. And I think you have something similar. But that's what I would recommend doing.
Okay.
You're already on the right track.
Yes, because, you know, before I always struggling on, okay, do I focus on displaying, showcasing the product, right? And I realized, I go, no, I didn't want to do that because what am I really about? I'm really about helping people, entrepreneurs going through this journey, right, of accomplishing their dream, have financial freedom. But the question is, where are they at? Right? Because it's hard to tell by just looking, because you can't assume, because somebody may appear really successful, but you don't know what financial issue or challenges that they have, right? And it's not about profiling or, you know, what their net worth is and who they really are, but where are they at their journey? And so in that way, I go, because I can be in any, what do you call it, phase in any time, right? I mean, 1 minute, like look at in 2008, 2009, right? I mean, people were making great money, $30,000 a month. How come next year, a year after that, they're filing bankruptcy, losing their house and owing taxes, right? So I realized that, okay, if I develop tools and resources and through that assessment, through the survey funnel, I can find out, okay, this where you are at, here's all the tools and resources that you need to focus on to get you to the next level. Because depending where they are at, let's say, you know, in survival mode, they're more interested in debt resolution, credit repair, managing their finance, whereas the people in striving mode, where they're more interested, okay, I'm interested in saving taxes. I make a lot of money. I'm interested in growing my investment. So certain message will cater toward that, you know.
I agree with you. One of the things about the finances is that, like you said, we're jumping from one thing to another. So if they're expanding the business, they went from being profitable to needing a loan. If they're, you know, so if things change really quickly, you know, if the taxes are due, okay, I went from having money to I got to get money, or I need to this. So it moves in so quickly. So if people know through your assessment tools and the information you're giving, that you have solutions for each one of the stages, it's going to make it a lot easier.
Great.
Okay. Let's see.
That's all the question I have.
Okay. All right, so let's see. Aziza, I know you're not feeling well, but do you want to get on audio? No. Okay. All right, well, today is going to be actually a short one because we have each one of our cast members, they're traveling. we have a busy group of cast members, and actually 2 of them are on the road. One is, anyway, so hopefully everybody's watching this and are going to be able to follow up with it. And let's see, I don't know what else, but I know one thing. If you go in there and start using the business growth calculator and get really comfortable with it, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to create your monetization platform, which you're going to be building for the next 4 modules. Okay, everyone, I'm Amanda Villa. This is Turn Your Show into Cash. Thanks for joining us. And next week, it's all about beginning your marketing. Okay, all right, see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.